will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Love Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talent, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahmed Wasaba. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Mangade. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Hi, I'm Naima Latif. Join me and my co-host Kareem Hamid every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Female Solution radio show, as we explore that relationship that is the foundation for our society, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. Join our discussion as we seek to repair broken family ties and rebuild our community. Listen online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to our host, or you can join us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the-female-solution.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution. Grand Rising, and thank you all for joining us on this Wednesday morning on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. And in just one moment, we're going to be joined by our co-host, Kareem Hamid. So join us, stay with us, and we'll be right back after this quick break.
And how we can take a stand and be a contributing factor to the human family for the best of humanity, continuing to strive with the excellence that our foreparents stood with and for. Many who lost their lives because they chose not to be subdued and treated inhumane. Juneteenth, again, is as a soul by the mercy of the one God. And now, welcome, dear human family, to Juneteenth 2021. And we are back. I see we have my co-host with us, Naima Baptiste. Assalamu alaikum, Naima.
Wa alaikum salam. So grateful to be with our American Muslim 360 family this morning. And of course, for those who would love to join us visually, we're live on our Female Solution Facebook page. And we appreciate all of you for tuning in. Make sure to call in and participate in this discussion. You can call in 515-605-9325 or 515-605-9891. Just remember to press 1 so we know you have something to say and we can add you to this discussion. So yes, we've already got the switchboard lining up here on the Female Solution blog talk channel, and I'm sure there are those who are tuning in to American Muslim 360, and we want absolutely well. We appreciate our loyal listeners, and even those new listeners, feel free to press 1. There is no comment that will not be honored, and we appreciate your intelligence. So there's no question that is unintelligent to ask. We will certainly hear your voice. You know, this show, Brother Kareem, we like to help people, as we say, deal with that foundation, which is the relationship that forms families, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives, those who are committed to be loving partners in the raising of children. That's such a critical position because it's that which is the foundation upon which everything is built. So when we have a strong foundation, we can build strong families and strong communities. But each person is responsible for their own development so that they are prepared to be a partner. They're prepared to be a parent. They're prepared to be a member of a community. We're not in this world alone. We are all a part of each other. And when we understand that to its fullest extent is when we can be helpful members of the community in which we live. It's only when we don't understand it and the degree to which we don't understand it that we are harmful. So we're going to introduce a chart. And not only does this chart give us a numerical and a visual guideline, it's based on a grayscale from darkness to light. And the steps that you take to get to that point of enlightenment. But this chart also will help you understand where you are and perhaps why you're attracting the kind of people that you're attracting, because based on the universal law of attraction, you're attracting to people that mirror where you are in your own evolution. So if you've been saying things like, oh, all these men are jerks, they're no good, or all these women, they're just liars and cheaters. If you're saying these things about other people based on your experiences, we want you to take a look at yourself because they are reflecting where you are in your own understanding. Not to condemn anybody or make anybody feel bad, but just to help you understand that we're all evolving and we're all going to reach that point of enlightenment. That's the destiny of the human soul. But along the way, you have some life lessons that help you evolve. And we want you to know where you are so that you can do the things that would raise your vibration to a higher level and you can attract more joyful experiences. So that's our conversation today. And again, for those who are listening online, we want you to join this conversation. Give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak. And, you know, one of the reasons why I was guided to share this chart is because many times we spend a lifetime doing the same thing, the same way, and expecting different results. And we're not seeing that what has to change is not the people on the outside, is what we have to change on the inside. And people are where they are, and you can't make someone evolve any faster than their soul is ready to evolve based on their learning the lessons from their experiences. So if you're with someone and perhaps maybe they have a drinking problem, maybe they have turned to alcohol as a means to escape some of the bad feelings they have, you're nagging them about it or being angry at them or, you know, threatening to throw them out of the house. That's not going to help them change. Whatever is inside of them that created that condition, that's what they have to change. So we can stay in relationships with people who are not where we are or not where we want to be, or we can leave. But if you stay there, then that's an indication that you're there with them. That's where you are. And maybe you're an enabler. Maybe you are the person who actually creates the condition that becomes a regular cycle. They drink, you argue about it, you all fight each other. Somebody gets hurt, somebody goes to jail, they come back home, you forgive each other, and then you start the cycle all over again. So if you're in that kind of a relationship and it's dysfunctional, and many people have lived lifetimes in dysfunctional relationships, you keep thinking that if you nag them enough and argue with them enough, they're going to stop. And it never changes. Something inside of them has to change, and you can't make that happen. So that's one of the things that we're looking at today as we go through this chart, this spiritual evolution chart, so that you may understand where you are and why you are where you are, and what things that you can do to help yourself evolve, and what you might be doing might not be helping you. So that's the gist of today's conversation. Of course, if you're listening online and want to join this conversation, give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak. And we'll certainly get your comments. Now, I want to ask you a question, Brother Kareem, because, you know, you're certainly a scholarly individual and have shared much of your insights, even coming from the Holy Quran, which, with all of the efforts to maintain the exact words as revealed, we still have 72 different sects of Islam and so many different interpretations, because what happens is each person who interprets it, they interpret according to their own level of growth and evolution. And they can be a scholar, they can be one who has all kinds of titles, but they can differ from somebody else who is also a scholar and has those same titles. So understanding is something that comes from one's own experience. And so, based on what you have observed, what are your thoughts about people who may be very diligent in their religious practice, but they have difficulty sustaining a personal relationship? Have you ever counseled such a person or observed such a person? And what was your conclusion about why their spiritual practice wasn't translating into a harmonious relationship? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. First off, let me make a correction. I don't consider myself a scholar.
I knew you were going to say that because you're so humble. I knew that was what you were going to say.
I'm always learning, always learning. And anyway, to address the subject matter, we mentioned religious practices. Religious practices are usually, that terminology is usually associated with rituals, right. And but the rituals are containers of wisdom and knowledge. And you are so correct. There are different levels of understanding and opinion. When differences, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Almighty God be upon him, has said that differences of opinion is a good thing. That's how we grow, the exchanging of ideas. So that is not a flaw. That is that's natural. That is natural, for we all understand at different levels, and sometimes
relationships and marriages. I believe in some cases that the person or people in that relationship fall short of incorporating and exhibiting the behavior. All right, let's say the Christian faith and the Islamic faith. We know the prophet Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus, the son of Mary. There's a character that accompanied his life. There's a moral character that accompanied his life. Even if he was delivering Almighty God's word, there was a character accompanying that word. And that character that was in him was coupled with the revealed word. In Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Almighty God be upon him, he is God's messenger. And the message that he delivered was the word of God. But there was a character to the Prophet Muhammad. Even before he received revelation, he was known as El-Amin, the trustworthy, being trustworthy, being worthy of one's trust. He was now known as As-Sadiq, the truth. He was known as being truthful, and he never lied. That is the character that Almighty God chose to deliver God's message to us. So sometimes we become proficient at reciting the message, and we study the message, and we attempt to glean as much enlightenment as we can from God's message. But I think where some of us, not all, where some of us fail, is to emulate the character of the messenger. We can pray, we can express that we believe that there's only one God. We can practice salat or prayer at the scheduled regular times of prayer. We can institute what is called zakat, commonly called charity, but it is a financial system that is obligatory. It is for the poor due, that the poor is due some of your wealth. All right, then we can fast during the blessed month of Ramadan. We can fast, and we can make the pilgrimage to the house, the Kaaba in Mecca, that is called Hajj. When the Prophet Muhammad was asked, what is Islam? That is the definition that he gave. Now, we can do those rituals, but the character of the Prophet Muhammad is also a mercy to us. He did not just deliver God's message, he lived it. So I think in some cases in our faith, some of us fail our mate, how we address others, how we address our children, how we treat ourselves, how do we speak to our husband, how do we speak to our wives? Do we choose words that are uplifting? Or do we become caught up in the emotion of sometimes there will be differences of opinion, but those differences of opinion should never allow you to devolve in your human character.
Devolve.
The character of God's messengers. Jesus was a sign. Peace and blessing of Almighty God be on him. He was a sign. He was a sign of what was to come. And congruent with the character of Jesus, you find that same character, the same character in the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Almighty God be upon them both. So if we would conform to the character of these most excellent personages as they are models for us, God says in the Quran, you will find in Muhammad the most excellent character, the most excellent human behavior for any who believe in God and the last day. So I believe that is where the shortcoming comes in regards to religious, adopting a religion and its practices. There's a character that accompanies all the great things. And I think sometimes we fall short in emulating and conforming. If you practice being truthful, it becomes a part of you. If you practice being honest, that is what you become. If you practice being caring about another human being, that is what you become. So we want to become. Matter of fact, God tells us in the Quran, he says to us, tell them, Muhammad, that you are a Basharun Mislikum. Tell them that you are a human being just like them. That means you share the same sensitivities they do. You feel cold when it's cold. You feel hot when it's hot. You feel that you are an emotional being just like them. So there is no barrier by way of being human. There is no barrier between the regular human being and God's messages. So if we would work hard to emulate the character of God's messengers, this is, although the messengers are commonly identified as male, that does not exclude the female from emulating good moral and honest character. The soul is one. So the human character, the human being is one. So if we would work hard at mending our behavior and how we treat ourselves and one another, is one. I know people that can quote scripture from can see to can't see. But that is not its purpose just to be quoted. It is to incorporate God's word within us. And we live up to. There's a spirit that accompanies God's word. God says he has placed his spirit in everything. In everything. all in us and in creation. So if we would study the life of the messengers and conform to their character. Matter of fact, I'll make this point and I'll stop. Allah says of the Prophet Muhammad concerning revealing the Quran. Allah says, we place it upon his heart. Upon his heart. Not his mind. Not his mind. We placed it upon his heart. And the heart is the seat of sensitivities and intentions. And intentions. We can become top-heavy in our intellect and ignore the inner core, the heart. So that is my advice to all of us as human beings. All of us as human beings. Follow the best sentiments of our heart. Sometimes we get swept up in emotion and we'll say or act in a certain way. Once we become aware of that, then we have the ability to make that correction. We will not be angels. We will make mistakes. Yes, we will. But immediately, seek refuge with your Lord. And how do we do that on a practical level? Attach ourselves to the best that is inside of us. God has placed the best within us. I can change my mind, and if someone can make me angry, I can say, well, I'll go over there and punch him in his mind. But stop and think.
Right.
Stop and think.
Stop and think. Absolutely.
Be kind and gentle to one another, like God's messages were to those that they live among.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, and if I may, concerning, when I keep saying this, but we have to have the courage to make an honest and open, an honest inventory of ourselves. So that we do not live in our pristine imagination. Oh, I'm good. Oh no. I want to share with you some words from our beloved leader, Imam Muhammad, from out of his book, Healthy Consciousness in Society. He writes, we have allowed, let me see now, let me make sure okay. The picture of the world leaders today is shameful. And that is saying the least. Whether the picture we're looking at is the picture of the Asian world, or European world, or African world, or the American people, we're looking at a very shameful picture. I recall in my childhood, older women, while they were observing the behavior of a child, they would say, that boy is rotten to the core. Now, we should never become rotten to the core. We have in our holy book, the Quran, the saying, your death and your resurrection is likened to that of a single soul. The more our world works to mute or silence human innocence, the more it gives itself to moral corruption of the human thought process. Soon, the loss of transparency brings on death of the whole society. Let me repeat that, please. Soon, the loss of transparency brings on death of the whole society. We have allowed the whole society of man to lose human innocence. We know we are living, still walking the earth, but when we look at the general picture, or the big picture, the picture of our publics and our leaders among them, it appears that we have allowed the whole society of man to lose whole human innocence, to lose transparency. your own secret thoughts. That is what I mean when I say an honest inventory of ourselves.
Honest inventory of
This
ourselves.
is my commentary on that. Being willing to be true to oneself, to face your secret thoughts. And you are not ashamed if others see your own secret thoughts. In time, if you lose this core that God created us with, the whole life will be lost. The approach to troubling issues won't have the support of this life that God gave us to save us in every area of life. I'll stop right there, my sister.
Yes. Well, you have certainly laid the foundation for all that we wish to share today. Everything from the highest examples of where the human soul can reach. And then there are the lowest, those who are expressing what happens to a soul when they have not experienced love, and the kind of activities that we observe. Now, all of us are somewhere on that scale, and all of us can rise to the top and beyond, because spiritual growth is unlimited. But you often don't realize where you are. As Brother Kareem said, you often don't realize where you are because maybe you're doing the ritual things, but you haven't changed on the inside. And so you're not manifesting the beauty, the love, the joy, the peace that actually comes from the growth within. And you're going to attract to you people who mirror you so that you know where you are. So if you're in a relationship that's hurting you, it's reflecting something to you. And it is for your benefit to honestly look at it and evaluate what you see. So we got to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to share with you the spiritual evolution chart. And it's a chart from darkness to light, with the lowest being the lowest vibration and the highest being the highest vibration and beyond. And at that highest vibration, you'll be amazed at some of the things that you can manifest. But we'll talk about that when we come back after this quick break. And if you're listening online, we want you to join this conversation. Give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak, and we'll open your mic and get your thoughts. We'll be right back after this break, so stay with us.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Everything you need, what your body needs, is found in nature. So Susan Essentials doesn't do it any other way. Susan Essentials provides your employees and individuals access to over 20,000 nutritional products, and they are shipped direct to your door. Because Susan Essentials is certified in plant-based healing, we're permitted to offer you the best nutritional supplements on the planet. They're non-GMO and sustainably produced, and we take the guesswork out for you. Let Susan Essentials help you take control of your health today. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of Solution Global Radio TV Show. We are a part of the online network of Associated Internet Radio hosts, On Air. On Air empowers you with transformative news and interactive radio TV shows. This is such a wonderful time to be alive and to see our human family coming together as one community as a result of that powerful tool, the internet. We can now talk directly to each other all over the world. There's no need for conflict or misunderstanding. There's no need for violence to solve our differences. We can talk to each other face to face until we reach an agreement. On Air offers a fantastic global guide to communicators from all over the world who are using their internet platform to inspire us to strive to be our best selves in order to become the kind, compassionate, loving people we were all born to be. Once we do that, we'll see planet Earth transformed into a place of peace. Subscribe to the recommended YouTube channels, Facebook pages, and podcasts created by these Voices of Enlightenment. On Air provides daily news briefs and a weekly magazine to keep you abreast of events and opportunities. On Air news affiliates in television, radio, and print share information, insights, and interviews with notable personalities. Go to onaireverywhere.com for a daily dose of uplifting news. We're on air everywhere, online all the time.
And we are back. You are listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV Show. I'm Naima Latif, along with my co-host Kareem Hamid, and we are here to help you. So we're grateful for those who have joined us today for this discussion about how you can begin the process or continue the process of transformation by understanding where you are in your own growth and development and how you are attracting people who reflect to you who you are. And if you want a better relationship, you must begin the growth process within. And to help you with that, we're presenting the spiritual evolution chart. Now, the way this chart is set up, it's divided into 12 sections. And each section describes behaviors that indicate where you are And they also indicate what may have happened to cause you to get to that point and what you may need to do to evolve to the next higher level. Now, of course, what our co-host has described in terms of those who we know on this earth have given an example of high spiritual evolution, those upon whom many religions have been founded, the Buddha, the one we know as Jesus, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them all of these who have, and many, many, many more, who set an example. So all of us have had somewhere in our history, our culture, examples of what spiritual evolution, what heights of spiritual growth looked like. These are people, regular people who've lived among us, but evolved to that high reflection of the divine. So that lets us know it's possible. But you have to do the work on the inside. So, there have been people who have really done some horrible things on the earth. People that everybody, when you hear the name, you think, oh, pure evil, horrible person, must be suffering in hell. But we have to understand that our souls are not here to suffer. We're here to learn and to express. And as Brother Kareem said, all of us are expressions of divinity. All of us have been infused with the life force energy of the divine. No matter where we are mentally or emotionally, all of us have the capacity to evolve. But sometimes things happen in your life where you don't see the love. And there's a line in one of the spoken word pieces that's in a musical production we produced a few years ago, where the young man who was, gangbanger, killed somebody, was in jail, and he said, I show no love because I know no love. And that's kind of what happens in the lowest levels, where we might see the worst behavior. So I want to just start from the bottom, from number 1, and go up to number 12. And we'll kind of examine each of these as we look at this, and then examine what it takes to lift oneself up out of this condition. The bottom, the very bottom. And all of these are vibrations. We're all vibrating. Everything that you do creates the vibration that is you. You are vibrating energy. Every thought, word, and action creates the vibration, which is the essence of your being. So at the very lowest vibration are those people who do some of the worst behaviors. They show no love because they know no love. And so here is where you will find murderers, rapists, people who perhaps work in positions where they are allowed to torture people and cause pain. And they are enjoying causing pain because something inside of them was damaged. There is an absence of love in them. And so this is what they express. You think of people in people in history like Adolf Hitler. And just the name itself, for so many, it exemplifies that person. You think, how can someone be that cruel, that evil, that hurtful, to have done so much to so many? But that state of mind is what happens when you become disconnected to that ultimate truth that exists at the very top level. And the ultimate truth is that we are all one, because we are all connected to the divine energy of creation, which is one energy. They're not two energies, they're not two forces, they're not a devil and a God, there's only God. But there are expressions of energy in which the presence of God, the awareness of God, the presence of the love energy of God is absent or distorted. And that's where you get the lower levels. There are not two forces in this universe. There's only one force. There's only one creator. There's only one. And your awareness of the one is what prevents you from hurting others, because you know that they are the same as you, an expression of the one. When you don't know that, is when you are expressing the lowest vibration, the absence of light. And light is understanding. Light is awareness. So the darkness of a soul that kills is the darkness of one who is missing the light of love. If you were to examine someone's life who perhaps is maybe doing time in the penitentiary because of, a mass murder, or maybe a rapist, a serial killer or serial rapist, you would find at the core of their life is the absence of love. So somebody might say, well, this person needs to be punished, they need to burn in hell. But what really has to happen to heal a soul on that level is that they must be healed by giving love. That's a conversation we'll have in another show. But understand that in order to understand such a person, you have to know what is missing, the reason why they're expressing unloving behavior. It's absent in them. And so this is why we are encouraged to take care of the orphans, take care of the poor, take care of those who are in need. Because when you don't show love, then they will know no love. They will express no love. And that energy of non-love will come back and express itself at the greater community. And so we all suffer when we don't love someone. We all suffer. But this lowest person, this hateful person, this person who can kill, and you think of people like Charles Manson, who not only killed but attracted many young people who were dysfunctional, maybe had been thrown out of their houses, rejected by their families. You attract what you are. So someone on that level was able to attract someone who also felt no love. You look at a Hitler. How many became part of the Gestapo? Now, these were people who would be considered respectable. But what is inside of you that allows you to agree to hurt other people, to torture other people, to kill other people? The thought inside you that this person is separate than what I am. They're different than me. I have no feeling for them. In fact, they deserve pain. And I'm really giving them the pain that was given to me. So in that lower level are people who have hate because they see others as separate than them. And so they inflict that hate that they feel toward themselves on these other people whom they see as other than myself. The furthest away you are from the consciousness of oneness, the furthest away you are from love, the closer you are to the darkness that allows you to inflict pain. That's that lowest level. And we've seen throughout history that lowest level of behavior come out of people who may have been in their day-to-day lives regular people. We've seen people become part of lynch mobs. We've seen people do horrible things, come in and kill up a bunch of children in a classroom. We've seen this behavior. We've seen this behavior. It is a vibration that, in fact, you're expressing based on the absence of love and light inside of you. That's what that is. So people speak of a devil and a Satan, but there are not two powers in the universe. There's only one. But there is a vibration that you become harmonious with, which we personify. But certainly, if you are not of that vibration, you will not attract, nor be in harmony with, nor be influenced by, unless there is an absence of love inside of you. So how does that person who came from a wealthy family end up in a mob of people that can lynch somebody? That's what was inside of them. That's what was inside of them. So you know who you are by the company you keep and the things you do. And that lowest level is the one that doesn't understand that we are one. And there's something inside of them, a self-hatred, because they don't recognize the God in them. The Spirit of God, the power of God, the love of God is not in them. I show no love because I know no love. So this is that lowest level. And how do you help someone at that lowest level? Just like somebody who's physically sick, they need spiritual healing. They need spiritual healing. And so the work of those who are spiritual healers, you have to understand what is missing inside of them. So we're going to go up to the next step, number 2. Now, this is someone who hurts others to get what they want, a ruthless person, and they have no consciousness about robbing, stealing, lying. It's not there. The remorse is not there because, again, they have that selfishness. They don't see themselves as connected to people. And so it doesn't bother them to mistreat people to get what they want. And sometimes these might be people that are caught and end up doing jail time, or they might be people who have enough wealth where they don't get caught. So they might be people high up in government positions. They might be people high up in business. But spiritually, that's where they are. They are at that level where they don't have empathy for the pain that they cause because they are selfish, because they don't see themselves as connected to others. And they may not necessarily be seen as a criminal. They may be lauded as a hero, but they're hurting people because of what's missing inside of them, the light and the love of the Creator. And we're going to go to the third thing, the next highest step, number 3 up the ladder of spiritual evolution. Then we're going to take a break. This person engages in bullying behavior. They deliberately hurt people. They're egotistical, self-centered, believing themselves to be better than others. This is where you will see people who engage in racism, sexism, classism. I'm better than you, therefore I don't care if you're suffering. I will pick on you if you're lesser than me. I see myself as better than. I do not have the desire to assist you in becoming what I consider equal to me, because I enjoy the fact that I am better than you. Again, a reflection of an absence of understanding of oneness. And so people who are on that level, those who engage in, again, racism, classism, sexism, xenophobia, whatever thing it is that they separate themselves from others and make in their own minds a reason why these people should be treated as lesser than, that's where they are in their spiritual evolution. That's where they are because of what's inside of them. So I want to ponder that for a moment. That's the bottom level, number one. The second level, and then the third level. And again, we got 9 more levels to go. But these levels of behavior is based on what's inside the person and what we see manifest and how it affects others. So we're going to take a break and come back and talk about that and how we should respond when we encounter people at that level of spiritual evolution. So we'll be right back after this quick break. And if you're listening online and want to join this conversation, give us a call, 515-605-9325. Press 1 if you're ready to speak. We're going to see if we can pull up a visual of this chart on our Facebook page. But of course, listen and you take notes and we'll talk about it when we come back after this break. So stay with us.
Hallelujah. Greetings in the spirit of Great O and Yah Shalom. Great O means we are one. Yah is the Hebrew sacred name for God, and Shalom means peace. I'm Evangelist Mama Love Yah Nubian, and I'm inviting you to join me every fourth Saturday from noon to 2 p.m. Wisdom with Mother D. Call in the number 515-605-9365. Wisdom, limited for the daughters of couplet separation, and spiritually speaking, men who do the will of God, our mother, as a repository education, author, activist, international award in sports, and ordained minister. Female, I love Jesus, say farewell to all things, human everything that prevents your potential. We bring forth life and give birth to babies. A kid is an animal beast with 4 legs. A child is a human being with 2 legs. Facts can change feelings, but feelings cannot change facts. A mother teaches love. Love is beyond every spell and hope, faith and peace together. That's what Wisdom with Mother D is about. Join me every 4th Saturday from 3 p.m. Calling 515-605-9365. Share your wisdom and love always appreciate. Remember, mother's farewell. You don't be a child, and if you doesn't, it's higher to you. Email, you are the local transformer with the power to change this world. Use it. Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Delta Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit DeltaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Delta Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Delta Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening. Tune in to Global Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear great topics and stories on grief and turn it into victory. Join Dr. Debbie Green to listen to stories of triumph and learn how to overcome. You are not alone in your life, and there is hope in the darkest hour. This is your time to learn strategies and solutions to improve your life. It's your time. So join Dr. Debbie Green with Global Solutions and call in on Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 515-605-9325 with comments and questions. Look to hear from you real soon.
And we are back. You're listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. I'm Naima Latif, along with my co-host Kareem Hamid, and the American Muslim 360 family. And we have with us today a chart measuring your spiritual vibration based on what information you have received and accepted that makes up how you behave. And an absence of love and the light of understanding that we are all part of the one energy of creation can cause you to express the lowest levels of vibration. So we have a chart which goes from the lowest, number 1, to the highest and beyond, number 12. And the reason for this, starting out at the lowest levels, is to help those of us who may despise people who do bad things to understand that based on the information that you have received and accepted about yourself, about the world, about reality, all of that creates the vibration that you express and the love that you may or may not have received that gives you the capacity to love yourself and others. Based on those things, you can behave no other way than the way you're behaving. So if we understand that about people who are vibrating at that lowest level, then we can forgive them. Because in order for us to raise our own vibration, we must have the capacity to forgive. And of course, if you were listening earlier, you know, Kareem spoke about those who demonstrated the character of a highly evolved being. The character, which was loving, kind, benevolent, forgiving, loving. This is the character demonstrated by the highest vibration. But when you don't receive the light of understanding, when you have not received love, then you are vibrating at that lowest level, and the expression of that vibration is behavior that hurts others. When we know this, then we can change the way we respond to people who are vibrating at that low level. We don't see them as hopelessly evil and deserving of pain and suffering. We see that they're already expressing a suffering that comes with absence of love. So this is one of the things that gets reflected to us when we attract someone to us in a relationship. Where are we vibrating in terms of our ability to love and the love of our own selves? Because when you don't love yourself, you attract to yourself someone who mirrors, who reflects to you your absence of love of yourself. This is not to blame people who are in abusive relationships. It's to help you understand that the reason why you are in that relationship and you are staying in that relationship is because that person is reflecting to you the absence of love of yourself, your absence of belief that you have the capacity to get out of that situation, that you deserve better than that situation. So you stay in that situation thinking you can change that person. You can't change them because they can only express to you where they are. You must change internally your belief about yourself. And if you've come out of a household where you were made fun of, where you were ridiculed, where you were suppressed, that created a vibration that you now emit and then attract to you of your unworthiness. So what you end up with is what you feel about yourself being expressed to you by another person. And how many are spending years and decades in painful relationships thinking they can change the other person, and you cannot. You can change yourself. So, Brother Kareem, what I wanted to do before I go higher up the list is to deal with where we tend to be stuck in our anger at those who express racial hatred. Yes, there is a necessity to expect and demand right treatment. But we focus so much on whether or not people like us or approve of us, instead of asking, why do we need anybody's liking and approving of us? Why do we need that? One thing that I admire about what the Nation of Islam did and the leadership of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was getting people out of the thought that they had to evaluate themselves based on other people's approval. And once we let that go, we saw people really flourish because they were not stuck on evaluating their worth based on other people treating them nice. It didn't matter. You create your own nation in a sense of the mindset of, these are people who I surround myself with, who give me respect, love, consideration, validation. Why am I needing to go among people who display hatred so I can feel bad about myself? So I think there's a lot to be learned from that experience and coming out of that need to be accepted and coming out of the dependency, the economic dependency and understanding if you do for yourself, then you're not dependent on someone else deciding whether or not you can thrive. That's a big step that we had to take coming out of a slave system in which we were taught self-hate. But understanding that, you have to let it go and stop wallowing in it. And I think that's where a lot of us are stuck. We're wallowing in the anger over the treatment of some other people who are where they are in their spiritual growth. And being angry at them cannot change where they are. We have to change what's inside of ourselves and needing the approval of people who are where they are in terms of their treatment of others. So what are your thoughts about that, Kareem, as we look at so many people who, I mean, you can go throughout radio, TV, the internet, all of these shows where we are constantly seeing Black people basically venting their anger at white America. And in my observation, it doesn't help you elevate yourself spiritually because you're stuck on wanting someone else to change their behavior instead of you focusing on all that you have, the unlimited capacity that you have as an expression of the Creator to create what you need and not even be influenced by what other people are doing or not doing for you. So what do you think it would take for us to get to that mindset again of do for self and create your own environment where you are loved and valued and respected? What do you think?
Yes. If someone can control your emotion, then they got you.
Mm-hmm.
They can trigger behavior from you that takes you away from your own interest and your own progress.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was a part of a Nation of Islam, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, may Allah forgive him his sin, grant him the home in the paradise. He taught that the knowledge of self is key. Know yourself. And he would ask, what is yourself? And the answer was, yourself is a righteous Muslim. Now let me interpret the word Muslim. A true evolved human being. A true evolved human being. That is one translation of the Arabic word Muslim. There are other tributaries connected with that, but I want to stay on having a knowledge of self. So, and there is a fear among the human beings to not want to be the other. Whatever that other is, people follow in group lockstep with the majority because they do not want to be considered the other. There were Caucasians that knew better that this treatment of the African people enslaved here was not correct. They knew that. But there is humanity. So our arguing along racial lines is a waste of time. Color coding is an artificial construct. Black. No, I'm human. Say it loud. I'm human and I'm proud. Say it loud. I'm human and I'm proud.
Yeah.
Because there was never a question concerning our being so-called black. Let us connect with what we are and let our behavior and our aspirations and our goals that we set for ourselves be within the realm of human capacity to achieve those things. It is not based upon someone else's opinion. God says, I have made your forms and made them beautiful and most excellent. That's all I need to hear. God says, I have dignified all the descendants of Adam. That's all I need to hear.
Right. That's right.
I'm human and I'm dignified.
That's right.
Let's not waste so much time answering back to those that are still in the darkness of racial classification.
Absolutely. That is a dark.
Continue to manipulate us.
Yes.
Let's move forward with the potential that God has placed within all of us. Create our own business. Strengthen our families.
Yes.
Love our wives. Love our children.
Yes.
Don't want to stop me
Yes.
from loving my wife.
Yes. Absolutely.
No white man, no yellow man, nobody.
That's right.
I'm in my home and I can show her
Yes.
the love and care that and our children deserve. No one can strengthen our families for us but us.
That
we
is
have
it.
the capacity to do that.
That is so true. I mean, that's the whole thing. Nobody is stopping us from loving ourselves and each other. There is no one stopping us from doing that which would transform our lives. Definitely, you hit it on the head. And Zelda, our dear sister from our Monday Morning Mindfulness, says, Grand Rising, beautiful queen sister. Grand Rising to you. And she says, unworthiness is a feeling we have when we have not learned to release the need that created the patterns in our lives. Continuous self-study is crucial. Absolutely. We keep holding on to that same pattern and we keep manifesting that same behavior. So she also says, this is exactly why we're working on a self-paced home study relationship course at higherlearningnetwork.org. And you got to go to higherlearningnetwork.org to get involved in this home study on relationships. Definitely, again, nobody's stopping us from learning in our own homes. And now's the best time. She says, coming soon. Sign up for details. Again, that's higherlearningnetwork.org. And she says, oh, love my new hairstyle. Oh, for those who are watching us on Facebook. Yeah, I got my locks here. I've organized my hair on my head. And and she said, love you too, Kareem. Even though we can't see you, we feel your energy.
I love you back.
Wonderful. So we know that love is the answer to everything. Love is the solution to everything. No one's stopping us from loving each other. And once we realize that, then we can transform the experiences that we're having. If we keep focusing on the people who are unloving, how is that helping? It's just making us feel bad and we're stuck there. So we got to get unstuck. That's the crucial thing, getting unstuck. And understanding that people are where they are. You can't change them. They must do the self-correction. So we're going to go up the ladder toward the pinnacle of spiritual development. And number 4, going up from the bottom, the person at this level of vibration is resentful of others to the point of harming them. They can be vindictive, jealous, envious, and it's an expression of their own low self-esteem. They hurt people's feelings with their words. They say mean things. Again, it's their own expression of their own low self-esteem. And they are often engaged in trying to put other people down, maybe for their differences. They're the ones who pick on the person who looks different or has a disability. They are mean-spirited, but it comes from their own self-hatred. So this is where you see people who get resentful because someone else achieves something. People who, what was it? Those who wanted to kill Hank Aaron when he was getting ready to break Babe Ruth's record. How insane is that? How dare you get ready to do something that makes me have to face the fact that the people that look like me aren't superior. I hate you for that. That's crazy. But then again, you have that same spirit, the bully who will beat up the child who got all the answers right in school, and they're angry. How dare you make me feel dumb by knowing all the answers and being smart? Or the person who will beat up the team that won the game. How dare you win and make me feel like a loser? So that's where that vibration is. The person who doesn't feel good about themselves, and so they resent others. And we all know people like that. And that's where they are in their evolution, again, because of lack of self-love. That's how it manifests. So the next step up. Now, this is a person at the 5th level of vibration. They regularly engage in behavior that is not uplifting of themselves, and they're unforgiving of others, and they are punitive. Often these are people who are highly punitive and harsh with children, and they also have that victim mentality, angry at people who did things to them. They can't forgive, they can't let it go, and they see the world as against them. They're holding on to a lot of resentment and anger, and their harsh treatment, again, is a reflection of an absence of love. So in this level, you might find people who believe they're doing the right thing when they beat their children for infractions. But what they're doing is really expressing an absence of understanding that all of us come here to learn, and we make mistakes. They see the misbehavior of children as reflecting a disrespect toward them, because that's how they see the world, as against them. The victim mentality. These people did me wrong. How dare this child disrespect me? I'll hit you. I will say something harsh to break your spirit. How dare you disrespect me? But it's a disrespect that they have of themselves. And that's how it manifests in their treatment of others. Unloving behavior. Because truly, if you had understanding, if you had the light of understanding, you would never hit a child for being a child, because you would not take that child's lack of understanding and lack of knowledge as a disrespect to you. You would not see it that way if you had the light of understanding. But this is where they're vibrating. And so this is where their perception is. And so this is the behavior that they manifest. And that's at that 5th level of vibration. So going up again to the next level, Number 6, they have some destructive faults, which may lead them to excuse themselves for some of their behaviors. But they do have some moments of guilt about those behaviors. They are aware that they may be doing things such as telling a minor lie to get something they want. But there is some level of consciousness. There is some light. There is some awareness that they're hurting someone. They might engage in things that are self-hurting, in order to relieve guilt, shame, fear, such as drinking, smoking, drugs. They're depending on these things to make them feel better. And they do have some level of guilt about it, but they don't have enough self-love to stop the behavior. They merely self-medicate it. That's where they are in their evolution. And that's where they tend to get stuck on the self-destructive behavior, guilt about the self-destructive behavior, again, enacting the self-destructive behavior in order to ease the pain of the self-destructive behavior. It becomes a repetitive cycle until they can evolve to the next level of self-love. So we're going to take our last break and come back and take some more of your comments. And we're going to, of course, get your comments as we finish this chart. And we're going to ask that you really reflect on what you hear and where you are and what it takes to raise your vibration to that highest level. So we'll be right back after this quick break. And if you're listening online, we want you to join this conversation. Give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak. And we'll be right back. So stay with us.
Have you ever dreamed of going to exotic places, meeting fascinating people, enjoying uplifting music, and spending nights in a luxurious hotel? Do you look forward to a relaxing vacation where you can walk along the beach or sit in a quiet park and enjoy the sunset or sunrise? Whether you're flying around the world or driving across the country, we will share travel tips that will help you stay safe while you enjoy the journey. Join me every third Saturday of the month, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, and move around with Deborah here on the Female Solution Show. Call in and comment 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
And we are back, and we have few comments we want to share with you. And of course, we're going to give you an opportunity to express your thoughts. And if you're listening online and want to join this conversation, give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak. And certainly we will give you an opportunity to share your thoughts. We have been reviewing the spiritual evolution chart, and we are all energy vibrating. The people we draw to us and the people that are drawn to us are those of a similar vibration. They may be reflecting something to us in ourselves that we like, or something in ourselves that we don't like. We often think that our relationships would improve if that other person would just change their behavior. But the truth is, we're all here to learn patience, tolerance, and forgiveness. We're all here to evolve to that highest vibration. The level of unconditional love means you can love someone even if they're at that lowest vibration. You can love them because you're not taking their behavior as an indication of your self-worth, because you understand your worth. So nothing anybody else does can make you feel bad about yourself. That's when you know you have evolved. When you can reach that level of unconditional love where there is no judgment or condemnation of another, there's simply an understanding and acceptance of where that person is in their own spiritual evolution. That's when you have evolved. So today we're introducing this spiritual evolution chart to help you understand where you may be and why you may be attracting someone of a vibration that you don't like, because there are things inside of you that you must grow out of. Incorrect beliefs about yourself as being unworthy. So we encourage you to take note so that you can raise your vibration to the highest level. And at that highest level, not only is there joy and bliss, there is physical immunity to all illness and disease. So the key to raising your vibration is what all the spiritual masters have come to teach us and have demonstrated, and that is love. So how do you love somebody who has hurt you? Well, we'll talk about that. But let's continue this chart, and we're going to go up a few more up the ladder, and then we're going to take some calls, and also want to share with you some of the comments that our viewing audience has made on our Female Solution Facebook page. And you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/thefemalesolution. And I'm right there. And one of these days, we're going to see the face of our brother Kareem as well. We're working on that. But of course, we...
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. And Zella says, it's good to hear Kareem laugh because he's usually so serious. We appreciate you both. Thanks for the vibration chart that was said by our sister Zelda. And she asked that we share this chart online, email perhaps, which we will do. We will share this. We will have this posted on our Female Solution blog talk page and our Female Solution Facebook page and our Female Solution website. We really want to share this chart so that people can see themselves and evaluate where they are and work on raising that vibration to that highest level. So we've got 3 callers on the line. Let me get through a couple of more, and then I'm going to go. I'm going to take you at 773-977-314-833 and 773-436. I'm going to take you all in that order, and we ended at 5. No, we ended at 6. The person who has some self-destructive faults, but they tend to excuse themselves, even though they do have moments of guilt about the behavior. So there is some level of awareness that what they're doing is hurtful. So now let's go up to number 7. If you're vibrating at a 7, this person has momentary lapses in behavior, such as they may lie. They may do little things like, the person who maybe steals pencils from the office because they feel like, they got enough. So what? Yeah, I'll take these for myself. They generally try to do good, but they are someone who could be influenced by that groupthink situation where even though they generally try to do what's right, they can be influenced to do what's wrong and make excuses in their minds about it. Well, these people, they're rich. If I take from them, they won't miss it. That kind of a thing where they still can be influenced to do something negative, even though they generally try to do what's right. And that's at the 7 vibration level. Now, number 8. The number 8 person, they do try to do what's right, but they also observe faults in others, and they tend to gossip about others' faults. And they generally follow ethical behavior, even though they might tell slight untruths, slight exaggerations. But the way they make themselves feel better about themselves is pointing out the faults of others. This is why they gossip. This is why they talk about other people, because they believe that this is going to make them feel better about themselves and whatever shortcomings they have. That's at the number 8 vibration. Now, I'm going to speak about number 9, and then we'll go to our callers. Number 9. Now, this is a person that strives to follow guidelines as taught in a religion. They strive to follow the guidelines, but they also tend to be judgmental. They tend to get annoyed with those who are not able to follow the guidelines. They may be judgmental in terms of seeing those who are not able to live a life that they deem as clean and holy. They tend to see those people as lesser than and could easily look down on them because they see themselves as higher than, because they are following a religion. And they may lack patience and forgiveness of those who've made mistakes. They would more advocate such people be punished for being ungodly. That's how they believe the system is, that if you are not living up to this standard, then you deserve the pain of punishment. That's where they are in their vibration. So I'm going to pause here before we get to 10, 11, and 12. I'm going to pause here and take a couple of comments. And let's go to area code 773-977, Grand Rising. Give us your name, where you're calling from, and your comment.
Good morning.
Yes, it is.
Chicago, Illinois, over in the South Shore area. You know, I always say God is so good to us. He loves us so much. I think I did with number 8 in some respects. However, I just want everyone to know that God will deliver in every situation. And all we have to do is just turn it over to Jesus. I believe that He's going to do just like He said to. He's going to take good care of us, provide us a place to live, and what have you. And, I believe that I would love the fact that I could put 1 minute prayer into the chart for all of us today. Hope that we can share that along with the chart.
Oh, that's such a wonderful thought. Well, we thank you so much, Lois. You're such a bright light. We appreciate you. And yes, she's right. There's always help when you really desire to improve. There's always help that's right there. And our Creator wants us to reach that highest level. So that's what prayer is. It's that conversation with the divine for help, and we always receive it. Thank you so much, Lois. Let me go to area code 314833, Grand Rising. Thank you for joining us, and give us your thoughts.
Yes, Grand Rising. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you.
Yes.
To everyone, and Mark Shaheen from the STL, the Gateway City of St. Louis, and the Show Me State of Missouri.
Yes, sir.
I want to say, alhamdulillah, the praise and thanks belongs to God, first and foremost. And I feel like I've been listening to a learning lab.
Yes. Break it down into
I'm really kind of rushed because I have a dental appointment. And I want to say how elated I am because today, October 13th, is when we first began the learning lab for the Courtship and Marriage Learning Lab. So this is our 6th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, well, thank you. And I want to say I'm now with IWDM Radio Sister Station. And Manir Habil will be our special guest tomorrow on IWDM Radio on the Courtship and Marriage Learning Lab with Quran Shakur and myself. And we're really looking forward to that. Let me just say briefly that I hope that when you said 12, I just knew in my mind you would be able to complete them. But I hope and pray along that you and Kareem will continue on this path in terms of spiritual evolution and vibration. Very, very important. And especially when it comes to raising our children, because if we're going to remake and have a making impressions and get better expressions from us as human beings, it's going to be vitally, vitally important that we understand that as conscious adults in terms of raising our children. Just want to leave us with something that kind of coincides with what you've been saying, that all human beings, and it's in the word can, just 3 letters, C-A-N, that all human beings need. You talk about love, and you hit it right on the head, Naima, that we have to have love and a light of understanding. But what does that constitute? It constitutes connection. All human beings must see themselves as being connected. And all human beings have to be seen to be accepted. And then the N stands for nurtured. This constitutes what children need, but this also constitutes what our relationships need in terms of connection, acceptance, and nurturing.
That
and
is
if
so
we don't
true.
get that, then we'll see a dysfunctionality in the relationship. Very, very important.
That is absolutely true.
I don't have the time to do it because
we thank you so much.
But keep up the great work, and I want to say that if those can tune in tonight for the Parenting Family Reconstruction Learning Lab and MGM Roundtable, Professor Aisha.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for that, and we will tune in.
Manir Habil, who is one of the very distinguished esteemed hosts of AM 360 Radio. It's all about Courtship and Marriage Learning Lab. Will be joining us for the 6th anniversary of the Courtship and Marriage Learning Lab.
Well, we'll be tuning in, brother. We sure will, and we thank you so much.
714-816-4737. 714-816-4673.
Well, all right.
It begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please tune in.
All right.
And bring your pen and pad and participate. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
Likewise. We appreciate you. And of course, what he says is right on point, because those are the things that make the difference. Those are the things that shape the soul. Before I bring in this next caller, who's always reminding us we must love souls into shape, I'm going to get to 10, 11, and 12, and then we're going to bring her on. And we're going to talk about this, because this is the work that we must do, loving these souls into shape that are at the lowest vibration, so that we can help them. So with number 10, if you're vibrating at a 10, you're sensitive to the feelings of others, cheerful, like to laugh, helpful. You might gently reprimand those who are behaving inappropriately, but you're generally forgiving. And for people who are misbehaving, you pretty much just decide to avoid them. You avoid the people that you don't like, so you don't have to have negative encounters. But you are generally a cheerful person and sensitive. So this is where the number 10 is. Sensitive to the feelings of others, generally cheerful, likes to laugh, helpful. You might gently reprimand those who are misbehaving. You're generally forgiving, and you avoid those that you don't like. That's at the higher level. Then, of course, that's a 10. You're vibrating at an 11. You're not quite telepathic, but you're very intuitive. You may be you're in general good health, because you're generally an upbeat person. You're kind-hearted, generous, patient. May be able to communicate with others, and you're recognized for the level of wisdom that you have. That's who you are, and you are, the love that you have is felt, and this is why people are drawn to you, because you have that level of wisdom inside of you, and you are intuitive. You can feel the feelings of others, and your compassion is what keeps you from harming others. That's if you're vibrating at an 11. Now, if you are vibrating at a 12, and this is where the many spiritual masters that we spoke of early, where they begin. At this level, very high vibration, you understand oneness. You understand that we are all an expression of the one creator. And that understanding keeps you from harming anyone. At this level, you are connected to all life. You're telepathic. And there is a visible light that emanates from you, like a halo. Your light actually can be visibly seen. Your energy is such that you don't age, and you have no sickness, because your vibration is so high. You are at the level where you are not penetrated by any disease, and you live in a state of joy and bliss. You are totally forgiving, because you understand that people who do wrong are simply acting out of the level of their vibration. You are not judgmental. You are forgiving, you're understanding, and you realize that all are part of the whole. All are a part of the expression of God, and you can commune with all life. You are at the level where you can do interspecies communication, because you are in harmony with all life, and you can love people unconditionally, because you understand that all of us are merely expressions of divinity at different vibrations. And that's at the 12 vibration. So this is our goal, to reach the 12 level of vibration and beyond. And at that level, there is no disease, there is no sickness, there is no aging. You live in a state of love. So let me bring on area code 773-436. We just got a minute or so. Mama D, go right ahead with your comments. Share your wisdom today.
Okay, well, hallelujah, greetings, global transformers. You know, it's written in the Black History Bible book whose hero is a woolly-haired man with bronze-colored feet to match his bronze-colored face. Lean not unto your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge your God, and he will direct your path. To spiritually evolve, you need the Creator to coach your life, because life is a gift that you need breath battery to have. And there's just no way for any of us to do any kind of thing, any kind of way, without breath battery. It's just like a car battery. No matter how late the model or beautiful the car is, it has to have a battery to operate. We have to have our breath battery charged. We didn't go to Walgreens and buy 25 cents worth of it. There's no other way for us to do anything. It is reasonable to acknowledge beyond God, the Creator, in all your ways.
Absolutely.
And it starts with that. But we have man is so he prefers to worship the Creator, the created instead of the Creator. And that's where all the problems begin.
Absolutely. Well, that is it. Well, thank you so much, Mama D. And you know, she hit the nail on the head, because when you acknowledge the Creator and receive your own inner guidance, all of us have the power for our own inner guidance, because all of us are connected. And when we do that, then we can begin the healing, we can begin the evolution, we can begin the understanding. So we thank you all. Thank you to my co-host, Kareem Hamid. Always, we are so grateful you sharing your wisdom. Thank you to our American Muslim 360 family. We appreciate all of you, and we want you all to continue to shine your light. I'm Naima Latif on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. And Zelda says happy Earth Day, born day to my brother who transitioned a few years back. And of course, he's now an ancestor watching over us all. Patrick Bradley, who was an engineer, retired from ComEd, who redesigned the S-curve of DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Remember the contributions of indigenous Black people to this country. Yes, we honor him today, Patrick Bradley, and appreciate him very, very much. And Deborah Smith says 10, 10, 10. Absolutely. So,
watch our TV shows.
So we're going to post this. We're going to post the chart, and I want you to think about where you are and what it takes to raise your vibration is love. Love and forgiveness. Forgiveness and love. Thank you.
India, Japan, Arigato, Korea, Kamsahamnida, Russia, Spasiba, Germany, Danke, Poland, Dziękuję, France, Merci, Spain, Gracias, Italy, Grazie, Egypt, Shukran, Ghana, Madasi, Nigeria, Eshe, South Africa, Gabonga, Senegal, Gere, Kenya, Asante, Israel, Toda, Pakistan, Shukriya, Afghanistan, Tashakur, Saudi Arabia, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.
We thank you all for joining us. Look for the spiritual evolution chart on our Blog Talk Radio channel, on our Facebook page, The Female Solution, and share it and study it. And we'll continue to remind our global family how to raise our vibration, because that is why we're here. Because all of us are destined to eventually reach that highest vibration and return to the vibration of our Creator, which is only love. I'm Naima Latif. Join us tomorrow for Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. See you then.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.